Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
Hey guys, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are back for you this week.
Sure is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You are correct. This
I am correct. This
damn
podcast
is the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
That's right.
What number are we on?
Wrestling normal show.
Anyways, we are at Wrestling Mayhem Show number 266.
266.
We've done a lot of these.
Are we going to do anything for 269?
I don't know. Maybe we'll
I think we should bring back the
very sexy.
Yes.
sexy Mayhem opening.
You know,
the sexy Mayhem opening.
That's a good idea.
Times two.
And WrestleFans gonna wear a strap on.
Wow.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That guy from the Bronx here is the Pixely, the 8-bit, the Mad Mike. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I have to give a quick shout out to my friends at Wrestling Audio because I won a contest and I got this awesome WrestleMania hat.
Okay, well, just imagine that's a WrestleMania hat.
Yeah, because it looks like you're 8-bit.
Well, I am 8-bit. You know why? Because 8-bit shit is awesome.
Right, moving on.
All right, and also who's not in 8-bit this week but might be a little
dark,
not moving too much is a WrestleFan, of course, Corpus Christi. Texas. How you doing?
Cross me.
What?
It's me. It's the WrestleFan
from
here
Corpus
on the Wrestling Mayhem
Christi
Show once again this week, and I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Yes, I do enjoy when I get that message at about 4:30 while I'm trying to get work done of just yelling Mayhem.
Right,
Screw you and your work.
Because, the rest of us have careers or jobs.
Yeah, it's like, I hate school. My school system's so stupid. And he spells stupid STOOPID.
Yes.
WrestleFan, you realize it gets absolutely no better, right?
Right.
No. I'm like, dude, do you know the crap I go through? It does not get better.
Yes.
Abandon all hope. At least
fan,
you have the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
WrestleFan, you may almost be done with high school. But I'm telling you...
May almost?
Yeah, you're almost done, right?
Well, yeah.
Right.
When you said May.
You may almost be done with high school.
Still out.
Yes. You're almost done with high school, so enjoy it while you're there.
That's right.
It does not change. It gets worse.
That's right. While you're there, you can
cherish it.
That's not, that's not completely true. College is pretty awesome, but after college, it's all fucking downhill.
Right, when you actually have to start living life with responsibilities and stuff.
That's right.
That's
right.
Dick.
It's not this going on road trips and checking out furries in Pittsburgh all the time. What, you think life's a party with furries all over the place? Bitches falling out of trees? What is going on?
Bitches.
WrestleFan, we had to do taxes.
That's
you know
right.
What taxes are?
Taxes.
You should.
That's right.
And
the guy that knows about bitches falling out of the trees, Thor himself, DJ Lunchbox. What's going up?
Hey, what's up, hot dog? Bitches falling out of trees. That'd be great. Well, I do live in the South Side, so drunk bitches is falling out of trees.
If there were trees, they'd be falling out of them.
That's actually right. In case you couldn't tell, I am very excited for the Thor movie. I got the Thor helmet right here, and I got my little buddy Thor here.
Oh no, Jimmy Thor! Look at that.
Everybody, little buddy Thor.
He's so cute.
Awesome.
He'll smite you adorably.
Yes. Episode number 266 has to be entitled Bitches Falling Out of Trees.
Chachi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. You look like you're doing very, very well.
Well, a good pre-show leads into a good episode, which puts me in a good mood.
That's right.
So, episode 262, Bitches Falling Out of Trees.
Now I have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else say anything.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, 266. I said 262. It's episode 266.
That's what it was before I changed everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I mentioned, this is, of course, the one and only Wrestling Mayhem Show, live for you. If you haven't come across us, or maybe you're hitting us up the first time because you ran into me or Chachi at our booth at the Pittsburgh Comic-Con.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is what we look like in the studio.
Yes.
So, where was my? Oh yeah, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Of course, that's this one here. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Mayhem Show. I don't know.
Yes.
Mad Mike is dancing, but I don't think he realizes his monitor isn't behind me. So he's just kind of dancing to himself. So, anyways,
Dancing with
Or
myself.
you can send us an email.
you can send us an email at goodtimes at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0. And what is that?
Sorg,
Yeah, you
Sorg.
gotta let him do
Do
the
it.
phone number.
call us up when you're drunk. 412-206-WMS0.
Ding!
I got no follow-up.
Well, you don't
or
need
you
one.
can just get us on your good old iPhone or Android device,
Your
Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold,
Your-
your iThingy.
Your
Your iThingy,
Your
there you go.
You can hit us up on your intelligent communication devices
It's
and catch all of this special content.
That's right, Chachi. That's right.
I don't have an intelligent communication device.
Yes, you have an intelligent device in your iPod Touch.
Well, yes. But I don't have a
Mine
smartphone.
tells me good morning and cooks me bacon.
What?
What? You didn't get that feature on your Android?
I am switching to iPhone.
Oh, there you go.
He's
There you
talking
go.
about his
Seriously,
wife.
what app is that?
Fuck yeah, Steve Jobs.
It's fantastic.
If Steve
Steve
Jobs could
Jobs
make me an
gives me
app
bacon.
that would make me bacon every morning, that'd be fantastic.
The iBacon.
The
Anyways, but no, go please check it out. It's only $1.99 on the App Store. Quick links to the phone number, the emails, and the Twitters, and on every audio episode that we have posted, as well as extra content we don't release to the public. You can only get it through this application right now. And you'll see a little bit of that a little bit later here in this show, Minutes from the Mall. Thank you very much. I was trying not to say that. There's interesting. There's a speaking of furries link in the chat room. Let's see. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hello. Wow.
Hey.
Oh my god, there actually is an iBacon app.
There is an iBacon.
Does it make you
I'll work
bacon?
on the furries here. I'll
That
work on
is-
that furry.
I want to
That's-
work on that furry.
We'll work on that. But I believe we do have some fan mail as we
do.
love to start up the show.
I-
And hey, if you're interested, we want guest people checking in. Not so it's just this rogues gallery, going on every week.
So if
Something
you
a
want to
little
be a
different.
host,
That's right.
or-
That's right.
In fact, next week, because Mad Mike will most likely not be on.
Yes, we have an opening slot.
if you want to sit here and Skype in,
That's right.
send us an email, and
Yeah,
we'll
you
get
can't
you
sit
in.
here and Skype in because then you'd be breaking my. That would be horrible.
Send us an
You're so
email
loud.
if you want to help us host this show.
That's right. That's right. We like Bobby F. J. Town from the chat room. Riz has been in here a few times. Hot Wheels from the chat room. Usually, if you're in the chat room for a while and we see how entertaining you are in text, we'll give you a shot with your
Yes.
voice. That's how it works.
Yes.
That's how, and it proves that you're here every Tuesday,
Right.
so we don't have to
And-
track you down.
Right.
Hopefully, you'll be as good in text form as you are in mouth form.
Right.
Whoa.
Mouth form.
It also can apply to the ladies.
Mouth
That's
form.
my favorite
There you go.
form.
So let's get right into it.
All right.
Chachi, I believe you have
I have the first
Riz
one.
Mail.
Yes.
The official.
As I am the official voice of the Riz, I have his email for this week. What's up? He forgot
dog.
the hot dog. So
Okay. Maybe he's modifying a little
I
bit.
guess
Points
Okay.
against him. Points
Yes.
against him.
For the past few weeks, there has been kind of a feud boiling between a certain TNA superstar who may or may not have won an Olympic gold medal with a broken frickin' neck,
Okay.
complaining on how his moves are being used by someone who may hear voices in his head to someone who is an all-American, American. So it got me thinking, has there been an instance where a wrestler stole, and that's in quotes, a move without it being a natural disaster? So here's my top 5 wrestler/finisher comparisons. Number 5, Primo. And what the hell is WrestleFan's finisher anyways?
The mom insult.
Wait, that's my finisher?
I
Yeah.
guess. Number 4, Edge's spear as compared to Rhino's gore. Edge should just be mad because of how shitty of a wrestler Rhino was. Number
Chris
3.
needs to watch more ECW.
Number 3, Iron Sheik's Camel Clutch and Scott Steiner's Steiner Recliner. First off, I am quite shocked that the Iron Sheik has not once gone off on Steiner's usage of this move. I mean, he goes off on just about anything else. Oh yeah, Crimson got a big nose.
What the hell?
That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
Crimson turned Jewish over the weekend.
Well, it was Passover lockdown.
Hey, what do you say?
Oh.
Number 2. Randy Orton's RKO as compared to Diamond Dallas Page's Diamond Cutter. You know, I am kind of shocked
And
that
also
DDP...
Homicide's Ace Crusher.
Right. I'm kind of shocked that DDP didn't try to go after Randy. This is the same DDP that was suing Jay-Z because he was using the same hand gesture that DDP used.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think DDP was upset because Jay-Z was trying to copyright it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a problem.
I'm pretty sure that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Right. But if anyone can copyright that, it would be Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Because
No,
Diamond Dallas
DDP
Page just doesn't have the money to do it.
Yoga will
Yoga
not buy you much.
videos.
Yoga was a yoga
Yoga
for
for
real
real guys.
Yoga
Yeah.
for real men.
And number 1, Shawn Michaels and Randy Savage's elbow drop. This reminds me of more of what Angle and Orton are fighting about. Randy Savage's finisher was an elbow drop, dig it. Then Shawn Michaels used it more as a momentum builder to set up his sweet chin music.
It wasn't
Well-
the same kind of elbow drop, though, I thought.
No,
And
Shawn,
plus, the thing
different,
is,
yeah.
if you're comparing a guy in the 80s, like, in the 80s, finishers were really, really... Like, Jake Roberts' finisher was a DDT, for Christ's sake.
Mhm.
We see every single diva use that, like, within the first 2 minutes of a match.
Right.
Like,
Look, if you guys want to talk about Shawn Michaels stealing a move, well, I guess he didn't technically steal it because he was dead, but he really did pick up that crossface crippler really quick.
well, someone had
him
to.
and Triple H. Triple H actually does it in All Stars.
Someone had to.
That's true. Yeah,
But
it's not technically stealing.
no,
but
it's not.
Well, The Rock used a sharpshooter.
Right.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
so did Jericho and so did Edge.
Shawn Michaels' elbow drop was a lot more flash. Like
What?
It was, yeah.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
Not when
Yeah,
he
it definitely was.
when he
Not more
when he-
than Randy Savage.
when he jumps off the top rope. He adds more class to that elbow drop than Randy Savage ever could. Like
Oh my god, I'm off this podcast right fucking now. That is blasphemy.
interesting?
As much as I love Shawn Michaels, my favorite wrestler of all time,
Mm-hmm.
there is no comparison. There's no comparison between Randy Savage's elbow drop and Shawn Michaels.
listen,
There's absolutely no fucking comparison.
I'm gonna have to go with Chachi on this one. He just put more into it than
He did.
Macho Man did.
and it's
Yeah.
not.
He's
I'm
like
not
it-
talking
maybe-
about. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, if you look at it, from the way they do it, Macho Man stuck his hands up there and he just focused on the elbow drop. Michaels did like a whole, I don't know how to call it, but he did like a whole.
He pulls
thing.
up the elbow while he's in the air.
Yeah,
and-
he
Yeah.
he adds
He
pizzazz
throws the
to
legs
it.
out. And
Yeah.
He adds pizzazz.
It's
to
like, and as I shouldn't be making this comparison because we know our thoughts on him. Look at a regular senton bomb and look at how Jeff Hardy does it.
That's true. Well, Hardy does it with kind of a reckless abandon too. So
Yeah,
that's kind of his style. Is a no style.
as he does with everything else.
So-
Listen.
Well, I think
I-
Jeff always had a contest internally in his head, like, how long can I wait before I pull up my head for the swanton before I die?
I'm not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take anything away from Randy Savage and his elbow drop. Because, honestly, it is two different things. Okay, it comes from two different eras,
Mm-hmm.
but Shawn Michaels took something that was done in the 80s that everyone loved and added some pizzazz to it. Not because he wanted to, but because at the time he started doing it, it was necessary. They were increasing the showmanship, therefore everything had to increase on the showmanship.
True.
So that's why
You know
I'm
what,
saying...
you know what they need to bring back? The leg drop.
Right. And I guarantee you that someone would do it with more pizzazz.
Think about. I mean, who do you know like in wrestling now that has a spectacular leg drop?
I'm not sure
The last guy
Can you
that had a
name a
good
person?
leg drop
Like-
was D'Lo Brown.
Yes,
That's
no,
true.
he is right. Yeah.
No, Kenny Dykstra. Kenny Dykstra had
Kenny
an
Dykstra.
awesome
Oh,
leg
that's
drop.
Yes.
right. Kenny Dykstra had like the jumping grab your leg drop.
Yeah,
Off the
pull your
top.
legs back, make touch your toes, and then come back in for the leg drop.
So I mean, I and I know where you're coming from, Mike.
And Riz made a good point too, Kofi Kingston.
Right.
Yeah, he has a whole lot of other stuff going on for him.
Well, the
That's
boom
pretty
drop
awesome.
isn't really a leg drop per se.
Yeah.
But
'Cause leg drop's gotta be like across the throat. That's where a leg drop's gotta be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just
Yeah,
slamming.
Kofi's is a double leg.
hmm
but yeah, Sean added more pizzazz to that leg, to the elbow drop.
Well, I still respectfully disagree.
I know you do,
Okay.
and I'm not trying.
Did
I'm
you
not.
say no? You do.
I know
No.
you do.
No,
I
I-
know you do.
I said I know he does,
I know.
and I'm not going to try to change his mind. But like we always do, it's just voicing opinions.
Yes.
That's what makes the show great. Let me finish Riz's email.
Oh, sorry, Bobby
Aw.
FJ Town from the
I
chat
love it when
room
we all
says
suck
Hogan's
dicks.
legs were made of cement. That's how he won with it. So there you go. There you go.
Until next
Explains
time.
everything.
Cyborg legs, he says.
Until next time, stealing finishers since 1987, Mr. Tech Wood Drive.
And
Wait, it's just Riz. No, that's
Wait,
what.
what?
That's what it says in the email.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I get it, because he's stealing a finisher.
It comes around. It comes around. Yeah, really, how many original finishers can there be? At this point.
True.
So I mean, it's
Well,
just getting
essentially the
flashier and
RKO.
flashier.
So many people have used that.
Oh yeah. Now
Yeah.
Orton, and then you can say, is Orton better at the RKO than DDP is with the Diamond Cutter? I think he does a whole lot more with it. I think the way
Yeah, I
he
don't
pops
think-
out of it. I mean, he has so much more story.
If you want
going
to
with his
compare
body.
it to like the Michaels Randy Savage,
Mhm.
Orton provides a bit more theatric with the whole jumping up
yeah.
with the
And he
RKO.
has
Oh
to.
yeah, he does.
DDP just grabbed his head and just drove him into the mat.
Right.
Yeah.
But that goes back
When
to the
when
whole,
was
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
that goes back to the whole thing where wrestlers nowadays have to add pizzazz to it.
Exactly. LB.
when was the last time that DDP hit a Diamond Cutter, or even Homicide for that matter, on someone doing a moonsault from the air?
Never.
Yeah, that's the
top
other
rope.
thing. That stuff he does is ridiculous.
All right, but the more and more I've seen that wasn't nearly as impressive as it was the first time you see it.
I agree. Okay, now
Because it was just basically Bourne missing a shooting star.
yeah, and it's basically him
I mean,
coming up, putting
It wasn't
his
like
arm
he
up.
grabbed his head
Yeah.
like all the way around and came down with it.
But still, there's a sense of timing there that many people can pull
Yeah.
off. You have to give him
As
credit for
wrestling
that.
fans,
That's
we're like,
what I'm
holy
sure-
shit, how
for
did
sure.
you time that out right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that took some work.
Mm-hmm. So, who's got the next email, guys?
We got an email from a Pierre Kelly
Yeah.
to the WMS Nation.
But wait, I thought the last one was from. Oh wait, no, that was Riz.
It sounded so sad. To the
I
WMS
hope,
Nation.
I hope Pierre Kelly opens up his email like Riz does next week. Like, WMS! Be
I couldn't
great.
believe my eyes about what happened on Raw in London. R-Truth talked about why he wanted to be champion at Extreme Rules ever since he already had one with the old NWA belt when TNA was at ties with the NWA. But Jomo came and wanted his spot to become champion. So they did it in a match against each other. Afterwards, Jomo won and attacked R-Truth thinking... Wait, no.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Jomo won and attacked R... No, that's not right.
WrestleFan,
I think he
Just read the email.
Afterwards, Jomo won and R-Truth attacked, thinking that this could be the end of the What's Up era. But something weird happened. R-Truth smoked a cigarette. Whatever happened to a good old-fashioned family fun in the 80s and 90s when WCW and WWE ruled the airways on Saturday morning? The man whose only belt was the U.S. Championship turned on Jomo, who had the same twist of fate when The Miz pulled a Rocker's barbershop scenario, becomes a bad guy. That's not what's up. Dolph Ziggler changes his hair to brown hair and make him more evil in the tag team department. Had the Awful One and A-Rye against Super Cena and, get this, Sin Cara.
Listen,
Sin
can we
Cara?
discuss that?
What?
Wait a minute. He didn't come up with a nickname for Sin Cara. Is Sin Cara not good enough for your nickname,
It's
motherfucker?
Cyber Batman.
You got the awful one.
No,
You got
Cyber
A-Rod.
Batman.
Can we?
All right, well, Josh, what do you want to bring up?
Let me just say that because I've been wondering what they were gonna do with Sin Cara since they brought him in, because there's not really a luchador division for him to wrestle.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
But I thought last night was amazing. First off, he didn't almost clip the top rope when he did his jump into the ring.
You did it really good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time I've seen him actually make the jump with no problems at all, which proves that he can do it. Instead of almost clipping each time.
Or they got a bouncier trampoline.
Right. That's very possible also because they don't show that.
Trampoline had jet lag.
But to see him get a push like that, I mean, that was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I like the guy. It's just a matter of how are they supposed to use
where
him.
does he go from here?
But to see
SmackDown.
WWE, that might be true. But I mean, to see him get a push like that is great.
they love pulling in the Mexican audience on SmackDown.
That's right. That's right.
That's
they
not
do.
even a
And
joke. It's just true.
To have Ray, Alberto, and Sin Cara on SmackDown? Oh, man.
There's
Oh,
SmackDown Race Wars, fight! SmackDown Race
SmackDown Race
Wars,
Wars,
fight!
fight, Mexican.
There's all kinds of wrong happening there in different syncing.
Whoa, what was that
types.
picture?
What was that?
What was that picture on the
Oh
just-
yeah. I got the furry picture up for you guys.
Oh,
So there you go. Have fun
okay,
with
that was
that.
awkward.
All
Okay.
right. No, I just been
back to
kind of
the
putting it
email.
up there for the video
And I would
audience.
just like to point out that Dolph Ziggler didn't change his hair color. He cut his hair.
Yeah, it's back to the original hair
Yes.
color.
Well,
Yeah.
He
Why?
did change his hair
I
color.
love that it was
No,
abnormally blonde.
because if you go back, you can see his roots.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Like, you've
I
always
believe
been
that,
able to see
but-
his roots.
But he's not a platinum blonde anymore.
He was
Which
never
I-
platinum blonde. It was just a really bad dye job.
Chachi,
Oh, come
I
on.
know this. I know this. I'm just saying, blonde
I
is
know
different
this.
from
I
brown.
know men
They're
dyeing their
different
hair
colors.
platinum blonde.
Okay, anyhow, go on with
Anyways,
the email.
moving on with the email.
Okay, his first tag match with Super Cena. Not bad for a guy who looks like Stinger from Saturday Night Slam Masters. What? I don't know what that means.
You're too young for that. That's
I know
why.
I am.
You're too young
Don't
for Saturday.
even
Hold
know
on a
Wishbone.
second.
Is that a wrestling show?
Oh no. Oh, he didn't do that. Go finish the email.
Oh god, okay. Also, it was Eve Torres against Nikki Bella, but one of the Bella twins has the Divas title. Is this one of those Diesel won it at a house show moments in which Eve Torres got her title stripped, or is it just us? What?
Did he?
Well,
I have no idea what he means.
I
don't blame him. I don't blame him though. No one pays attention to the Divas division. Bree
That's not
told a
true. I
rumor
pay
in which
attention.
Eve might be going to the Blue brand, but we'll see how the draft shapes up in a week from now. Okay, just real quick. I didn't get that because isn't the Divas title co-branded?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that threw me too.
They forgot
So
to mention
Eve can't
that.
face her? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. The worst of the worst. Coal Miner gets knighted with help from Thack Thwagger and Queen Middleton. He put T's at the end. Thank you. Really? Really? I'd pass on that and read about Kate Middleton and Prince whomever's wedding news. When Coal Miner was asked to kiss his foot from JR and King, all we saw was an infected one, and Thwagger kicked them both out. Somebody please get Scott Stanford to become the new commentator. Raw is getting worse by Coal Miner's actions and needs to be fired immediately. But the draft is next week, so in my last email, I'm keeping the draft picks as is, and it's only 2 hours, not 3 hours, because 180 minutes is a real waste of time. See you guys later, PRK, aka Mr. Techwood Drive.
All right, now we need to address this. Listen, WrestleFan, Saturday Night Slam Masters was a fantastic game from the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. What?
I love how once a
I
week
wanna
we always have
learn.
a WrestleFan education hour.
That's right, it's
We
a little
have
bit
to
of
teach them
innovation.
Something
Now,
awesome from the 90s.
Here's an idea what it looked like. Now, that may look familiar for fans of out there from Capcom's Final Fight. Because that's Hagar? Hagar?
Yeah,
Hagar?
he's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yes,
Thank you
he
very
is.
much.
Yes, he is. This was a wrestling game styled after Final Fight and a little bit of Street Fighter that Capcom put out in the early 90s. Of course, I'm sure you were 3 at the time, Wrestle fans, so you wouldn't obviously remember this, but I suggest you get yourself an emulator and you check that out.
Indeed. It looks like an old, was it WF WrestleMania something game?
You know, it kind of looks like WWE All-Stars.
Sega Genesis.
I know it's the WrestleMania, the arcade game. Yeah.
Yeah, the arcade game.
No, that was more Mortal Kombat than
Yeah.
That was more Killer
anything
Instinct.
else.
Killer
Where Taker could shoot ghosts at people.
Jeez.
You could shoot ghosts to people.
Oh, it was so wrong. Whatever it was all
You
wrong.
could shoot ghosts. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Hit him in the head with tombstones. Like literally a tombstone.
Yes. And Doink had a joy buzzer.
I do believe that was all we have for the fan mail, right?
That is the fan mail for
All
this
right.
week.
We did lose Mayhem Missy was supposed to join us. She was very excited to talk with us about the Night of Legends, but she got otherwise booked. So
Now I heard a rumor that she scored of Sunny. Is that true?
she did not score with Sunny. She was jealous because I got closer to Sunny than she did.
That is unfortunate.
Yes. No,
Yes, but in
Fire
our head and in the heads of all of our listeners, she scored with Sunny.
Okay.
You are
Mayhem-
welcome,
Mayhem
Mayhem
Missy's
Universe.
going
Although
good,
I did
so-
learn that Mayhem Missy wanted to be Sunny when she grew up. And still might want to be Sunny when she grows up. So there you go.
That's it. That's something we have in common. She wanted to be Sunny. I wanted to be in Sunny. So
Oh.
I think we
you know,
all
we all
want
have
to be
dreams.
in-
We all have dreams.
That's right. Mike?
I think we all wanted to be in Sunny.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay. Yeah. But yeah, Night of Legends,
Sunny days.
got to go up there. Sunny days.
WrestleFan, you were like 1.
Yeah. Sunny could be your mom. Like, quite literally. She's only
You
38.
you could have been actually
Hey, that is-
inside
yeah.
Sunny, like in her uterus.
Yeah. Very possible.
Mm.
Very possible. But Night of Legends, really
Trust me,
interesting.
I wanted to get that far into Sunny.
Whoa. Okay.
All steep.
Daddy Lunchbox.
Oh, Papa Lunchbox likey.
But no,
Bitches.
it was a good show. Of course, Jerry Lawler was there. It was interesting to see Jerry Lawler, Val Venus, and Jim Cornette have a little bit of a reunion powwow right in front of our DVD table. But no, it was really cool. There weren't any these guys are way too old to be in here duds. Mostly because the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express was, I think, saved by Jim Cornette. Because he was a pretty good focus of the match. Jim Cornette's awesome. He had everybody
Sorg,
yeah.
every Rock and Roll Express versus Midnight Express match was saved by Jim Cornette.
Like, that's how it was back in the day. Because I mean,
oh my God,
I don't know.
I've seen so many of them.
Of course, you're seeing these now, even. So
Oh, God, I fucking hate the Rock and Roll Express.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. You know, sure, okay, cool. They were NWA champions and everything. They had these big feuds in the South, but people were into it. Like, people were like, yeah, but they didn't get a chance to really talk at the QA. It was really the Jim Cornette show there, and it was really weird as far as that goes. You know,
Be thankful they didn't talk.
One of them said
man.
one thing, I guess, but
Oh, Ricky Morton and that other guy.
that other guy,
Robert Gibson.
And then somebody asked me which version showed up. I'm like, which version of what?
Of the Rock and Roll Express, there's only one version.
Well, I think
the shitty version.
they did mention the Midnight Express. They got the name from another.
There were different.
Okay, yeah,
There was
exactly.
Beautiful Bobby, Sweet Stan. There was
It's like such
Bombastic
Stan.
Bodacious Bob.
Jeez. Fantastic. But no, it was
I
a
miss
good show.
Techno Team 2000.
Who doesn't?
I think we all technically.
Of course, Sonny hosted the night and everything. Chest Flexor got a stunner from Sonny.
Nice.
Go Chest
I bet he's
Flexor.
still jerking it.
I bet he is. He has not stopped it. He may be in the hospital from jerking it the last 3 days. So I hope
He better stop. He's got a big match coming up.
he's got a big match coming up tomorrow night up in New Ken for College Fight Fest Volume 2 with the IWC against one David R. Demira. That may sound familiar.
Honeymoon is over. Honeymoon
is over for Chest Flexor. But great to see Chess Flexor getting involved with like Jerry Lawler and Sonny Angle there. And he was involved with got $1 Million Dream last year at Night of Legends. So Chess Flexor is like the most over guy in IWC right now.
Wait, is Chess Flexor the Bellas of Night of Legends?
Is he the Bellas of Night of Legends? No,
because he always gets involved with the guest stars.
Because he's not the pretty one and or the ugly one.
Okay,
Sorg
fair
is
enough.
learning.
There you go. But I didn't even know there was a debate on the Bellas. Wait, this is the Indie Minute. We're not getting into that. We'll have the debate later.
Yes.
There is no debate. There is
But
just
the weirdest point of the
there's
night.
just fact.
Thankfully,
It's just fact.
yeah, okay. Thankfully, there's nothing
There's
as
wrestle
weird
fact.
as last year when we had Brutus Beefcake come out with his nipple rings against the Honky Tonk Man in the weirdest match I've ever seen. It was very short. What we did have Val Venus come out against Red Titus, which was awesome.
Gotta pee.
And Chachi's going to go on a pee break. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the heads up.
I figured the fans need to know.
Okay. But
Bring
Val
the
Venus comes out, has a great promo against Red Titus about how Red Titus is he the new Val Venus and everything. And then Red Titus, if you haven't seen this guy live at an indie show, he sings his own entrance theme. You can check it out on the College Fight Fest. You can check it out here. It's pretty hilarious. But Val Venus counters with busting a freestyle,
shit.
John Cena style. And then he came out also in MMA gear, shorts, and they had a bit of an MMA match for the first couple minutes. Val Venus proceeds to win the match. It was pretty okay from there, right? And then goes on to have a motivational speech after the match. And granted, it's almost midnight because the shows ran way too long.
Was his motivational speech how not to be a Hardy?
I think there was some subtext there.
Or
It
how
was more
not to
about
be a whore.
determination and drive, and it was really good. I think it was just not in the right place. So, hey, I'm a fan of Val Venus, and I actually, would love to get him on the show to talk about the stuff he's doing, but it was just from my angle, it was just a weird place for all that to be happening. But altogether, it was a great show and probably one of the best Night of Legends I've seen, So there's that. Check out IWCWrestling.com. DVDs will be up there. And they got College Fight Fest coming up this Wednesday, tomorrow night. I'm not going to go too much into promoting that because if you're not listening to me right now, you're probably not going to hear about it in time. So go check that out for the DVDs at IWCWrestling.com. And Super Indie 10, the 10th anniversary, will be I'm sporting the shirt today, of course, 2 tickets to Larry Dice. It will be a Larry Sweeney Memorial tournament as well. And that's coming up in June. So you can go there and check that out as well. The rest of the Indie Minute, I'm going to toss to you, Mr. WrestleFan.
Me. It is time for the rest of the Indie Minute. The biggest news coming out from the Indie Minute this week, for those that don't know. King of Trios, the biggest tournament of the year, was this past weekend. This past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Very monumental tournament and had a lot of great moments. Your new King of Trios champions are the Colony, who picked up a very impressive win. Coming so close last year, but finally cinching it when they beat the team of Fist of Icarus, Chuck Taylor, and friend of the show, Johnny Gargano, who made it into the finals. So also good for him.
Nice.
It was a great tournament in general. A lot of great stuff going on, including the return, if you will, of the 1-2-3 Kid.
And there's a picture of him right there for you video watchers from our friends at iwantwrestling.com. Dave Lagana was in the house taking pictures. There's a whole bunch of them from all 3 nights. So go check that out. And a great interview last week with Mike Quackenbush about Shikara and King of Trios. So back to you, WrestleFan.
And definitely impressive seeing the 1-2-3 Kid back. I was told that from the event he had a match night 3 with El Generico, which was something that everyone needs to check out. And if you want to check that out, all 3 nights of King of Trios are currently on sale at smartmarkvideo.com. You can already pick them up, $15 each. I would definitely suggest picking them up. The card everything looks amazing from these DVDs, including the covers, which are very well done. I would say one of the Chikara's been pretty renowned for their DVD covers, and this is probably one of their best yet. Kind of a homage to the Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. If you want to go check out those DVDs, you can go to smartmarkvideo.com, go order them, go support Chikara, and get your King of Trios if you weren't in the Philadelphia area, or if you even were in the Philadelphia area, go check that out. And now moving on to Ring of Honor Wrestling. The only news I have from this that we mentioned last week that about their show coming up in Canada. Another big match that was announced for their show. It will be a match in memory of Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney in Toronto on March 7th. On May 7th. It will be Delirious going one-on-one with classic Colt Cabana in an homage, if you will, to Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney. If you want to go check that out and you want to get tickets to that event, go to ROHWrestling.com for more information on that. Another thing that we want to mention out, a big tournament that happens every year that's not really as well talked about on the show, the Super 8 tournament. And one of the main reasons we are talking about this tournament is that we do have a couple of friends of the show who will be participating in that great event, including a friend of the show, Shima Zion, and also friend of the show, Bobby Shields, from PWO fame. I don't have the information on that event. Do you have that with you, Sorg?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up right now, actually.
But yeah, it's a great event. Not only them, but a lot of great talent also announced for that tournament, including Sami Callihan, Adam Cole, Austin Aries, and including Shockwave the Robot, who will definitely be a treat to see. He is literally a professional wrestling robot.
Yes, we were scheduled to talk to Shockwave tonight. We did not get through to apparently the future, where he was.
I'm pretty sure.
Our connections with
I'm pretty sure it's because he's part of Skynet.
Yes, I understand Skynet is set to strike on the 22nd this week, so I think this is a little bit related.
Man.
So
yes, we might not be
Can
joining.
we hold off? My birthday's on the 28th.
Yeah,
and I'd like to have it.
I don't
can
know.
You guys, chill.
That's not up to us. We might as well warn you now that we may not be able to do this next week because of Skynet going live.
yes, yes.
Civilization.
And if we are live,
we'll be coming from a remote location in a cave
And
somewhere.
we will be welcoming our robot liberators.
Yes, we will be bowing down to the robot overlords.
If you can hear us, you are the resistance. So
yes. So here's hoping.
Rise up and make mayhem.
So here's hoping that the robots don't destroy us all.
But anyways, back to that information. That website, if it's still around after the rise of the robots, is at Super 8. That's actually going to be on Go Fight Live. We've been talking about a lot with ROHWrestling.com. So what do you like?
Bobby FJ Town in the chat room said Wrestling Mayhem Ham radio program.
Don't think I won't do it. But
Dude,
there it is.
Can you get the Mayhem Show app on your ham radio?
I'm trying to talk about this. It's on April 30th. It's in Voorhees, New Jersey, at the Flyers Skate Zone. That
does not bode well for anybody.
No.
You can go to
That's all signs of bad news.
ECWAProWrestling.com for more information about that, or Go Fight Live has links to it too. Stop the Jason shit. All right, WrestleFan, is that all for your Indie Minutes?
We also have one more thing for the Indie Minute. We did receive another email.
Oh, did we?
From our good friend
Oh,
Bobby
shit.
F. Oh shit! With the AON
Oh, shit.
report.
Wait, hold on, WrestleFan. Did someone die this week?
I hope not. Let's see.
You haven't received the email?
Let's see how it goes. Black Lightning lost the television title in a three-way dance ladder match against John McCraw and Zach Rain. When Lightning went to grab the title, he dropped it right onto fellow Empire member John McGraw, who became the new television champion. After Black Lightning discovered what happened, he fainted and was carried to the back over McCraw's shoulders. Wow. The cartel threatened to kill Kath Edison's sister. Okay, so there was a threat. There was no actual murder.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, thank God.
Samantha Sanders is looking into the matter as well as the ongoing investigation into the 3 murders. What? I thought there was only 2 murders.
Who knows?
There were 3.
There's the.
Wouldn't it be like really super fucked up if this was like some like crazy underground snuff film kind of wrestling fed and these murders were real? Wouldn't that be really fucked up? And we're just reporting on it like it's nothing.
That would be real. Israel Sharif Pakur is now wearing a towel to cover his face and is speaking with a strange accent. More as the story develops. Someone else has jumped the rail at an AON show. Perhaps the murderer. Nope, just an overzealous fan. Thank you,
Why do
Bobby.
I feel like AON is the R-rated Chikara?
I think so. Hey, you know what? Chikara, they're finding their niche. They're being something completely different. Maybe that's what OAN is having. We got to talk. This guy's contacted us. We got to get him on the show. Be like, what is up with all the murder? Are you the Detroit City of professional wrestling?
Oh, Sorg. Come on.
He's not wrong.
Youngstown, Ohio?
I know. Okay, all right. Detroit has enough problems.
No?
Detroit has enough problems. I mean, they got the Tigers, the Lions, the Red Wings. They don't need anything.
Eminem.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to draw the line at that one.
Toyota, whatever the hell car company was.
Look, he can rap his ass off. That doesn't mean he's someone you want in your city.
I mean, come on, look at Wiz Khalifa. Moving on.
There it is. There it is.
Punching.
I just don't understand Wiz Khalifa. I'm sorry. I don't get it. You know. Anyways,
he made a song to be interpreted as about the Steelers, Sorg. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to know.
All right. WrestleFan, anything else?
That is it, folks, for this week in the Indie Minute.
Fantastic, guys. Here's a little tidbit of gold for you. And we'll be right back. And a little view of a awesome cast. What's going on this week?
Did you say little tit?
PDI, man. I
had a beige computer with a green screen with green text on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I fucking played
Oregon Trail.
Guys, next time.
What is that? It's all pixelated.
2006 lockdown.
Alright, hold on. What's up, WrestleFan?
Guy in a Yankee shirt. Velvet Sky in a Yankee shirt is my idea of roughly what heaven would be like.
I'm getting awesome. You're getting awesome.
Detect how many licenses you use? What?
Snow leopards come in a pack.
They should call their family pack a Pride. That'd be fantastic.
You can buy
shared. And Peter Jackson, big bald Peter Jackson, has basically said, you know what, the Hobbit is kind of a big deal, and you know what, 3D movies are not good enough.
Don't do it! Ah! You can check us out at awesomecast.com.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Riz is an awful wrestling fan. Hi, I'm Mad Mike, and welcome back to the Wrestling Mayhem show number 266.
A way to come back.
Bitches falling from trees.
Bitches falling from trees.
Bitches falling from trees.
We never had the title at the beginning of the show like this.
It's a perfect title.
It is.
I think we should just rename the entire show Bitches Falling from Trees. I think we get a lot more hits that way.
Welcome to Bitches Falling from Trees 267, and this week
it would be hard to find
Bitches Fall from Trees.
And then we're
having trouble getting volunteers.
For the YouTube,
no, we can get a lot of advertising
Chachi,
from
shit my dad says got a fucking CBS series. Bitches Falling from Trees would be a sensation.
We could at least get on MTV.
Yeah, well, shit my dad says
would
is
be
fake.
an hour-and-a-half special on G4.
Bitches falling from trees.
Shit my dad says is fake, so we're not getting a TV show.
But it still has the name shit in it.
Doesn't matter. This is Bitches Falling from Trees. Women don't like being called bitches.
For all of our ills.
I saw something online.
Bitches falling from ham radios.
From Martin Sheen's new reality show. Shit my son says.
Shit my son says?
From Martin Sheen.
Wow.
Shit, my Darth says.
Oh, jeez.
From Martin Sheen, shit my son says. That'd be an amazing show.
All right, I don't know. Do we want to touch on your thing, Mad Mike, with
Yes.
Riz? I mean, not to throw Riz under a bus here. Maybe we should bring him up.
Well,
to
no.
defend himself.
I just explained to Riz that he's a
No,
horrible
please.
person.
Well, please explain on here because I don't know
What is this
you're talking
concept
about.
that you're going with? Here?
I'm joking.
Okay.
Riz was complaining on Twitter this weekend that TNA did a horrible job of promoting their show.
Okay.
Okay,
And
now I
then
know what you're
Riz
talking about.
also
Yeah.
pointed out that he didn't watch Impact. I actually did.
Okay.
And for all the shit we give TNA, and believe me, we give them plenty.
Oh, and we will
They
later.
actually, WrestleFan, I am fucking talking. Go in the corner.
There is no corner.
Go in the fucking corner.
He's
This
in a
is-
round
Don't put your
room.
knees
This
in your
is
pants.
a round room.
Then sit in the middle. Anyway, I explained to Riz.
I'm sorry, hold on. Ladies rapidly declining from living wooden species.
Wow.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, that's next week's title. Anyway,
That's the science version.
science.
Oh,
Anyway,
science.
I did watch Impact last week,
Okay.
and despite all the shit we give TNA, last week's Impact actually promoted their pay-per-view really fucking well.
All
Like,
right.
by the end of Impact, I knew every match that was on the card, which is a rarity in TNA, and I was actually excited for one or two of them.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched
And-
Lockdown.
and it was the worst
And-
lockdown ever.
It was bad. It was really, really bad.
You guys remember Elix Skipper? Yeah, that guy was cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
Skip.
that was there was so many, and I'll mention this right now because I was thinking of having this for the what I learned, but I'm not. I think either three things. I told Sorg this actually. One of three things is going on. Either one, Jeff Jarrett wants to really kill Kurt Angle, like legitimately kill him.
I found.
Two, Karen Jarrett wants Jeff Jarrett to literally kill Kurt Angle. Or three, somehow Vince Russo thinks having someone die in the middle of the ring will actually draw ratings. Because they are trying to, I think they are literally trying to murder Kurt Angle.
WrestleFan, there is a fourth option. Kurt Angle's just had enough.
Kurt Angle's just trying to.
Kurt's just like, you know what? Ric Flair says he wants to die in the ring. Fuck him. I'm gonna beat him in that race.
Oh my god. And it was so pointless. It was just.
All right,
Explain-
well, actually,
wait,
we
no,
should
no,
say
wait.
what-
Hold on.
say
But for
what
those
we're
that don't know,
referring
many of us that didn't watch Lockdown, what's the problem? What was the stipulation? What happened in this match,
Okay, well,
guys?
in the match, it was the alpha male or ultra male rules or whatever, which
a
meant
bullshit
first of all
2 out of 3 falls match.
Okay.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
that's
sweet.
the
So they
five-
brought back, what's his name? You know, Pounce! That guy.
They sure brought back Monty
That
Brown.
would be
What was that?
great.
What's his name?
Monty Brown.
Monty Brown.
Marcus
Monty
Brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Marcus Corvon.
The guy that said he fucked Chachi's mom.
Yes.
Yes, that's happened one time.
Yes.
Is
The
it?
legendary Monty Brown. I want to finish the match, but I don't know pounds.
Anyways, WrestleFan.
Okay. Well, one of the problems I had with it was that they advertised it that the first fall was pinfall, second fall was submission, and the third fall was escape. That's how they advertised it on Impact. But at Lockdown, they said first fall was submission, second fall was pinfall, third fall. It's whatever. They don't have any continuity. I know that already.
And the best part was that the referee knew that the first match was supposed to be pinfall, and then they're like, no, it's submission. Oh.
I know. It's ridiculous. But no, that wasn't the problem. Okay, first, Jeff Jarrett attempts for a power bomb from the top rope. Literally drops Kurt on his head.
Well,
Like,
no. At first glance, it looked like he dropped Kurt directly on his neck.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Which-
looked like
which
on
is
the
when I
first
came
glance
up with
when
the
they showed
idea.
the
Jeff
replay.
Jarrett-
Kurt barely pulled his head up.
Yeah, it was more
Very
Kurt's fault. Yeah, But I looked at that, just seeing it for the first time, I'm like, okay, Jeff Jarrett's trying to kill Kurt Angle. Because they've had heated stuff in the past and stuff like that, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. Second of all was the ending, or the first part of the ending. Because I forgot how, but Jeff's bleeding, he's down, Kurt's trying to escape the cage. Gunner runs out with a chair and starts banging on the cage, which I never
Gunner
understood.
Scott?
No, not
friend of the show, Gunner Scott? No way.
No,
I didn't know they
Gunner
brought him
Scott.
back too.
Phil Shadow, Gunner, whatever, the TV champion.
Oh, yeah, I saw he was
He
TV
starts being
champ.
on
Oh, and
the
they put the
cages.
title on him?
I never get how that worked. Okay, if I were me, I would just jump on the guy.
If I were me?
If I were,
If that were
if I-
me.
If I were
was
me,
I
and
would just
fortunately,
jump on
I
the guy.
is.
You know, it's like if I jump on him and cross body him or
the
whatever.
match
He's not
anyway.
going to hit me with the chair.
Well, WrestleFan, that's not necessarily true. There was a ladder match a couple of years ago at a Royal Rumble where someone did a suicide dive through the ropes. I'm not allowed to say who did the suicide dive, but
Yeah,
it was a
that's
certain
true.
Canadian wrestler by the name of X. Anyway, he dove through the ropes and got hit in the head with a chair.
But that wasn't. I think in the cage match it's different. But whatever. That's not my point.
Yes.
So Kurt's like, okay, so I can't get out of the cage. He basically does a repeat of what he did last year with Ken Anderson, where he moonsaults off the top of the cage. This time he doesn't hit Jarrett at all. Like
It's not like
even
Jarrett
close.
rolls out of the way. He just missed.
Yeah, he just missed. Which because he missed last year, sort of, but my thing is he moonsaulted last year and kind of headbutted him. Like he kind of hit him. This time he did not hit him at all. And both men sold it like he hit him. But the problem I had with that
that's
was...
what TNA does.
Obviously, someone in the back or whoever designed that match say, okay, so you need to take the moonsault off the top of the cage, even though, no offense, Kurt, but your body's in no shape to do that anymore. And it pissed me because they just say, okay, so do that off the cage. The crowd popped for like a second and then no reaction afterwards. There was no reason for him to do that moonsault. In my opinion.
There was no reason for half the... Well, the worst part of that is Kurt hits the moonsault and then still loses the match.
Yeah.
So, like,
because
TNA doesn't like to let faces win any fucking thing ever.
Yeah, because apparently this feud's going to continue between Kurt and Jeff Jarrett. But that was the longest finish ever also.
Like, I don't know how much more climactic you can get than the 2 out of 3 falls cage match.
Yeah.
I'm assuming one of them is going to be a put a bullet in the other's head match.
Yeah. We're going to have the capper sacrifice in front of, 1,000 people?
Well, I bet it'll be like... knowing TNA is perfectly logical booking, Kurt will not be able to defeat Jarrett in any one-on-one match. However, if you put Kurt in a handicap match with Jeff and Karen, he'll be able to win handily.
Okay, I'll transition that, Mad Mike, to another match on the card. Okay, TNA, and because TNA kind of, I think Vince Russo, but some other people say how TNA is more believable, and some the TNA fans say it's more believable. How am I supposed to believe that your longest reigning Knockouts champion, which is a fact, she beat Austin Kong's...
Longest reigning champion in the company at that point.
Probably, yeah. Your longest reigning Knockout champion who beat Mickie James twice on previous pay-per-views, whether it be cheating or not, she beat her twice. How am I supposed to believe that with a separated shoulder, Mickie James beats her in a 30-second squash match?
Yep. TNA screws the fans yet again. Now, point of order, WrestleFan. We should say that they filmed all the impacts before Mickie separated her shoulder.
That's true. Okay. Well, no, not all
At least
of them.
I'm pretty... But they filmed most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because they sold the whole motorcycle attack was why Mickie separated her shoulder.
Yeah. But
She fought a
TNA
motorcycle? I don't understand what's happening.
she got hit by a motorcycle.
Madison Rain tried to run her over, but with a motorcycle.
Yeah, you have to remember that a lot of people don't watch TNA, so you do have to explain out a lot of this stuff.
Well, we also haven't talked about it for the past 3.5
There's
weeks.
a reason.
Right. And there's a reason for
There's
that.
a reason.
No, but it's like
all right. Go ahead, Russell fan.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. And I get it. It was because Mickey separated her shoulder while they had the short match. I get it. But you didn't have to make it a squash match. Okay? Why couldn't, I don't know, you have Tara come out and cost Madison the title? Because that's what you've been building to this entire time.
Or just replace Mickey with Tara in the match.
That wouldn't have made any sense, though. But
Bullshit, it wouldn't have made any sense. Did you see Impact?
You're right, it would.
And on Impact, they basically had Tara getting ready to blast Madison Rain in the head with a forehead shot. And then Mickey James broke up the promo.
I want to say that this is my favorite new segment of the Wrestling Mayhem show, where Mad Mike and WrestleFan argue about TNA.
Welcome to Booking Decisions with Mad Mike and WrestleFan. How we fix TNA.
But no, it's like they just squashed her though in like a 30-second match, and I'm like,
they destroyed her. Like it was 2 throws to the cage, a Mickey DDT, and that
was it.
After she's run through, like, how many people that came back over all these...
She's literally run through the entire Knockouts roster.
And also beat Mickey James twice.
Yeah. So, So tell me, guys, is there any redeeming quality to this pay-per-view on Sunday that I would have felt redeemed for my, $40 I put down?
Kinda. I mean,
no.
All right, I said this in the chat room I was in when the pay-per-view was on. It was a great Impact. No, I'm serious when I say it, because
it was a great Impact that some people had to pay $45 for.
Yes, and some people had to pay a lot more, especially those people sitting ringside. But it was an okay show. It was an okay show, but there was nothing apart from the backstage segments being replaced with Christy Hemme and Kevin Arnold's older brother. Nothing beyond that.
Christy Hemme.
Really.
Christy Hemme makes me feel like my face has hemorrhoids. Jesus. Why are they still giving her money to go out and terrify small children? I don't understand.
I don't know.
You don't like
but I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't even pass it.
I don't like anything about Christy Hemme. I've said it before. I've said it in the press. She looks like someone rubbed her face on the gates of hell.
Besides the point that Christy Hemme is an ugly, ugly woman, the only other point I want to mention from Lockdown is we had a world title match that lasted longer than a minute. Yay. Too bad it only lasted 8 minutes, and the wrestling was horrible.
Oh, but there was one thing at the end of Lockdown that really makes me weep for the future of TNA. And if this is really what's coming down the pipeline, I'm dead serious. If this is what's coming down the pipeline TNA, I'm out. I'm going to stop watching, and I'm just going to look on YouTube for the Velvet Sky segments. Because at the end of this pay-per-view, they teased Sting versus Hulk Hogan. Yes.
That's exciting. I can't wait for that to happen 10 years ago.
I can't wait for somebody to completely shatter their vertebrae.
You know what? I think we should have... I think every pay-per-view for TNA from now until Hogan's contract runs out should be called TNA Deadpool. And everyone on the Mayhem show takes a pick. Either Ric Flair, Kurt Angle, or Hulk Hogan. And if one of them dies during the pay-per-view, we get a point.
Wow.
Let's move that over a little bit. Anybody notice that Kurt Angle was apparently was hacked again this week?
Oh, whatever.
As it seems. No,
his moveset was hacked too.
Yeah, his moveset too.
He was like, son of a bitch, I'm just gonna hit an RKO. Boom.
It was funny. I was driving through the strip, I think last week or so, and we found Angle Foods down there. I think Chachi might have been with us.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's where it is.
Where were we coming back?
We were coming back from Veronica's thing.
Oh, yeah, the baseball game and Veronica's thing.
I have a headache over how many jokes I can make about what you just said.
Give us a top 2.
But
that's okay.
God.
Where all of the foods,
okay. I think the best one would probably be Angle Foods for all your booze and steroids needs.
Have you ever seen this? Have we talked about this? How he has his own food company?
Kinda.
Kinda? No?
Wait.
I glossed over it.
he kind of
What I missed?
I wouldn't fucking
Why
buy
is it
food from Kurt
Chachi
Angle.
Hacks for kids?
Chachi Hacks for kids?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. So, hold on. But then, Angle Foods, you notice his Twitter is like Angle Foods 1 or something like that. I can't do it on here.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed about it. What?
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 I don't know what's happening.
Angle Foods.
But I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Angle Foods.
There's Angel Food Ministries. That's wrong.
Yeah,
that is not the right
Oh
thing.
yeah, I saw this.
It's the L before the E, Sorg. L before the E.
Have delicious cakes.
Actually,
Delicious
I think that
cakes.
is right.
Oh
But
god,
no,
a wind turbine just fell.
No, that's
But
not right at all.
yeah, just in general, I did not feel like this lockdown was anything what it should have been.
Okay.
Lockdown every year, no matter what we think of TNA, is usually pretty good.
Yeah, usually we get pretty excited for it.
Yeah, last year's lockdown was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
and this
the
one,
thing-
it didn't
the
feel
thing
like
I
it
don't-
mattered. It didn't feel like it mattered at all.
What's that?
Yeah, I mean, half of these matches, like, half of them should have been feud-ending matches, because that's one of the things we've always said about Lockdown. Like, Lockdown, for a lot of the matches, they don't need to be in cages. A lot of these matches actually made sense to be in cages, yet there was no finality to it at all.
Yeah, but
Like,
isn't
Matt
this-
Morgan versus Hernandez
Yeah.
in a cage. That's a feud ender. Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle. That's a feud ender. Mickey James, Madison Rain. That's a feud ender. Fortune versus Immortal. That's a feud ender. Like, that's half the card right
Samoa
there.
Joe versus D'Angelo.
Samoa Joe
Yeah.
and D'Angelo.
It
That's a
should have
feud
been.
ender.
It should have been like WrestleMania used to be, where the feuds came to a head, not where
Yeah.
they passed off into Extreme Rules or Backlash. You know, this is a place where, you know, Lockdown is a place like we always have a problem now with like Hell in a Cell. You do the Hell in a Cell match when it's come to the head and it's supposed to get to the point and it needs to be settled. Is that Hell in a Cell match. Now, we have to come up with a reason for a Hell in a Cell match, at least 2, maybe 3 of them in a pay-per-view. And a lot of times it's like the midway of a storyline, and it just loses that, you know. Plus they haven't had blood lately, and so we know about, you know, the health and everything, but that's one of those things that, you know, you talk about how brutal it is, and that's been you know, Lockdown, I'm sure, had blood all over the place.
My thing
By the
with
way,
this,
I just want to say,
wait.
I wouldn't eat any of this Angle Foods if I was the dude in 127 hours and I was hanging by my arm in a rocky ravine.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
WrestleFan, what are you saying?
the only thing is the way I compared it to the pay-per-view, or the way I compared the pay-per-view last night is like, we could have just forgotten about this entire pay-per-view, and nothing in the storylines would have changed besides maybe Mickey having the title.
So
But
basically,
it's like the last pay-per-view was Victory Road. The week after Victory Road, they do the big thing where they injure AJ Styles. Lockdown, AJ Styles is back. Okay. You know, it's like nothing.
And you know, if
mattered.
AJ was gonna come back, why couldn't he just be in the match?
yeah.
I know.
Why couldn't he have been like have it so where Fortune's going in with only 3 guys and have AJ be a big surprise? Like, let them say they have a mystery partner or something.
And
That would have
the
been
biggest-
fantastic, especially since fucking Immortal had the man advantage. What you do is you have it be like the 4-on-3 in the cage, and that's the match. Then all of a sudden, Immortal's like strong. They're in control of everything. Then you hear another buzzer go off, and everyone's looking all confused because they don't think Fortune has another partner. AJ Styles runs down, leaps off the fucking cage, and crossbodies all of Immortal.
Yeah. But it's like, my thing was, we kind of bitch at TNA for them having so many, like, heel face turns and stuff like that. This was the perfect time to have a turn, and nobody turned. Not in that match, not in the world title match.
Also, it seems to sound like they're booking the things, so you don't really miss anything if you're just watching the show, because they really want people to just watch the show anyways, because nobody's watching the pay-per-view. So, I mean, that seems to be an interesting dynamic there.
That could be a point in it,
like this ineffectual booking at the pay-per-views. Maybe this is a sign that they're on their way out with the pay-per-views finally. Maybe they're not putting their all in these pay-per-views because they can't be putting their alls in these pay-per-views the way they sound like they're
that would be a decision that would make a lot of good sense.
Yeah,
and you know how TNA is with those decisions.
You know, with the way that industry is, they're under a contract. Maybe they're under a contract for another year for all they know, and maybe they're just gonna pour all they know, all they want, or all they have, all their energy into that show. The shore up that rating, because let's be honest, like a 1-3 whatever they're getting is respectable as far as Spike goes. Spike's happy with it. Nobody's going to get in the 3s and 4s like Raw is. That's pretty much settled. But maybe they're just riding out that contract for pay-per-views, and maybe there's next step become just the show, or maybe become go to iPay-per-views like these other guys are. Maybe they're going to take a page out of Ring of Honor's book. I think they can make a killing on iPay-per-views because the overhead's going to be non-existent in comparison.
I don't think not anymore. Maybe a year ago they could have, but
yeah. No,
my God, their product, like, I wouldn't even be able to justify spending $10.
Even
on their
what? But there's a lot of people that do, and even for the fans left, that may be enough to make a profit off of something like an iPay-per-view. So let's move on a little bit here.
People were, I'll just quick note.
Sure.
People were talking about how the arena was pretty good filled for lockdown. That's because they moved the set really close to the ring.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And the arena
that's why no one had pyro. That's why no one had pyro, because the set was way too close.
Was it?
That arena was fucking dead.
Where was it? It was out.
It was in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Wow.
That arena
I didn't realize it was so close.
Dead still. Like you could tell that crowd, much like the TNA live show I went to in Poughkeepsie a couple months ago, they were there to see 3 people. Mm-hmm. Kurt Angle, Scott Steiner, and AJ Styles. That was who they came to see. And that was fucking it. Because they didn't give a shit.
I did like that crowd to a bit where Anderson did his whole thing, but when he moved the mic to the crowd, they yelled Kennedy.
Yes.
I think that's a perfect example right there about how they're not reaching out to the new fans, because everybody remembers, the guys from WWE, and they're not latching on to this. Those guys are going around their house shows, and they went to Cincinnati for lockdown. They hit all the radio. If they did, we talked about Mark Madden's experience trying to get some promotion for them here locally when they came through a house show a couple weeks ago. But they're going around saying, hey, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Mr. Anderson, but you see him do the thing, and everybody thinks Kennedy. These are the kind of people that are coming out. They're the WWE fans that are only going to know them because they don't care about Spike TV. Because they don't let their kids watch it.
And the best example of how dead the crowd was during the tag match. Because they have Orlando Jordan and Eric Young as a tag team. Mm-hmm. And Orlando Jordan came out in this leopard skin, Tarzan thing for some reason. And then for some middle of the match, Eric Young rips off his shorts and he's wearing a leopard skin thong or whatever, which I admit was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. The crowd was just sitting on their hands; they were dead silent.
Yeah, and it's you'll have that at wrestling shows. I mean, I saw a great match this weekend that followed up a really weird tag team match, and that was completely not bought by that crowd. But again, that's a crowd that was there for the legends, But aside from that, I don't know. TNA feels like I say, it feels more and more like nobody's watching it. But that's really out there, kind of armchair quarterbacking it. Of course, people are watching it. They wouldn't be on TV if people weren't. Right. It's not us. Obvious, not us. They're not looking for us as a fan. They're looking for your general, I love the Attitude Era fan for that. And they have that. Everybody that's left from that thinks the Attitude Era was awesome and thinks this is awesome. And they're out there. And I know a few of those people. And that's fine, That's an audience and they're reaching those people. But it's, I I don't know, but it feels too much like they're screaming just to hear themselves talk at this point, and nobody's listening. Nobody that matters or something, because they're not creating the buzz. They're having C-level superstars on their shows when Snooki's doing backflips at WrestleMania. I think that tells the story right there.
Sorg, if you look at it, they have if you remember when ECW was on, ECW was at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
They were still getting better ratings than TNA. And ECW is being main evented by guys like
I don't think that's a fair comparison because wrestling was a lot hotter then than it is now. So
well, I mean, not really.
No, I think Mad Mike's talking about the new ECW, not the old one.
The new ECW.
Oh, okay.
WWE ECW.
But still, that was supported by WWE. The millions of people are already watching. Raw.
But they weren't really able. They didn't really promote it.
They did do.
TNA promoted Impact more than WWE promoted ECW towards the end.
A 15-second spot or a crawl in the middle of Raw is more valuable than no matter how many commercials for TNA they're going to run on Spike TV.
But TNA runs commercials during Raw.
That's true too.
I mean,
sure.
That's why I'm saying it's a fair comparison. You had guys like Mike Knox versus the Hurricane technically getting more ratings than Hulk Hogan, Kurt Angle, Eric, all these huge names.
Yeah,
I know which match I would pick out of those two.
Anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get into some more important topics like R-Truth smoking. No, let's talk about R-Truth smoking.
What's up with smoking?
What's up with smoking, folks?
Smoking.
Think about the kids. Think about the kids.
You know why I think they did this?
Bullshit.
I was offended by that.
You were offended by what? You're offended by the think about the kids people?
No, by him lighting up on.
And you're a smoker.
Yeah, and I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they did that because they were in London.
Yeah,
because honestly, it's demonized over there way more than it is here.
Really? Now, for those that haven't checked it out, Raw started off with the R-Truth coming out. We talked about this a little bit in the fan mail section, and had a match with John Cena, and Cena was talking about how he was a smoker, and they showed a clip of him having a water in between his matches as John Cena was coming out during the gauntlet.
Yeah, apparently when you have water, you cannot. That's cheating.
That's cheating. Water is cheating in wrestling. So. And Morrison, bamboozled him and beat him for to get his spot in the three-way match at Extreme Rules. What?
Bamboozled.
How is that?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Bamboozled is a racist term.
So that's news to me.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that turn back into a four-way.
Could be
because I don't remember the Raw GM sanctioning any of that.
Yeah, it's true.
If it's a four-way, I'd be fine.
But anyways, and then he smoked up and still beat up Morrison and everything. R-Truth went in an interesting direction there. So,
I hated the group or whatever that bitched about R-Truth and saying that he needs to publicly apologize because he was like, oh, he's gonna say kids are gonna say, oh, if R-Truth can smoke, then I should smoke. Who the hell wants to be R-Truth?
Yeah, because R-Truth is a role model. Yeah, But
also, what the fuck kind of shitty parents are these people? Talk to your kids, tell them smoking's bad, and R-Truth is a bad guy. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, you know why I think they did the whole smoking is bad thing? Why? Because it just seemed completely random. This week on USA is Green Week. So if you promote that smoking is bad,
always
that's
Green
bad
Week on USA. I swear it is. It's like what? It's Green Week again?
And characters are always
ago.
And characters are welcome.
Green Week and Law and Order.
And characters are welcome.
It's Green Law and Order Week. I don't get it.
It's Green NCIS Week.
Welcome Law and Order Week.
Yes. And characters are welcome.
No. The coolest thing happening on USA right now is that Bruce Campbell got a solo movie out of the burn notice deal, and that's fucking awesome, and I can't wait to watch it.
He's Bruce fucking
Campbell. It's the fall of Sam Axe, bitches.
No, I'm sorry. The coolest thing on USA this week is Stone Cold in his boardroom segment in the ring on top of that. Every fucking week.
That is true.
I love that segment.
Stone Cold as Donald Trump as Stone Cold in Tough Enough.
Like the only way that 10 minutes of the show could be any better is if he literally stunned the person who was getting kicked out. That's the only way that thing could be fucking better. Like, if he said, "All right, Michael, you're going home," and flips him off and kicks him in the gut and stuns him.
I want him to do that to Ariana and her just take it wrong and just jack up her jaw.
That'd be great.
Amazing. I'm loving Tough Enough though. Like it's been fun, you know.
Yeah, even Chachi disagrees though. Even with Matt Cross, it's an entertaining little show.
Yeah.
I just lost
a lot of the reality shows you see on TV.
I just lost interest in it. That's all it is.
Really?
You don't want to fuck with skid marks.
What's your problem that you lost interest in it?
Skid marks.
Hold on, Chachi.
Well, number one, I've never been a fan of Tough Enough.
Okay.
I think it was, and please don't jump down.
No. Are you a fan of reality shows in general, like Real World kind of stuff to begin with?
Well, I'm not gonna watch like Real World or
Ultimate
Road
Fighter
Rules.
even.
No, I don't like that one either.
Okay.
Like I'll watch like Next Iron Chef America.
Okay.
Hell's Kitchen, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find that
Hell's Kitchen's
entertaining.
awesome.
Okay.
But I just think, and please don't jump down my throat from this, Mike. I just don't think that it was an arena that WWE needed to venture into.
Well,
I mean, they're doing well, and God bless them for doing well.
Mhm.
It's just my personal opinion that I don't think WWE needed to go there.
Okay.
I just don't find it interesting.
Okay. But a lot of people,
That's fair enough.
I think it's a lot of that kind of behind the scenes feel to it. Like, oh, this is what wrestlers deal with. Not
Right.
the dogs part. I think it's a little bit of a misnomer.
And
But
holy shit, Stacy Keibler returned.
yeah, stuff like that.
Stacey
I mean,
Keibler.
it's the wrestling. It's
Stacey
a different
Keibler can
sect
do
of
whatever the
wrestling.
fuck
Right.
she wants.
You know, some people will be into it because they're into the reality shows, which hopefully brings you over to, hey, check out the wrestling stuff too. You know, it brings in the wrestling
pretty
fans.
cool,
It brings in all the people who are like, oh, I remember Booker T. I remember Stone Cold. I remember
Right.
Stacey Keibler.
It's one of those things, and
It's a vehicle for them.
yeah, it is a vehicle for them, and I understand. And like I said, good for them. I mean, they're doing a great job. It's getting watched a lot. The ratings are, I'm assuming, are really good from the amount people are.
I don't see how they
about it.
couldn't be. I haven't seen them, but
Right.
They have
And
The ratings
it's
have been good.
2.2.
It's
It's like 2.2 or
It's
something.
the same reason why I don't. And once again, this is just gonna make me hated. But I don't dig on indie wrestling for the same reason. Like when I sit down to watch wrestling, it either has to be live or I want high production value.
Is this kind of going back to our conversation about the live thing? Like you're more excited by it being live,
Right.
you know?
I mean, I can do without the announcers
Yeah.
and all of the backstage stuff. I mean, I'll watch the guys wrestle in the ring. I have no problem with that. I'm not gonna go out and buy these indie DVDs.
You're not like us. Like for me, I could eat up any wrestling that you
Right.
put in front of me. For
I
the
need
most part.
production value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
You're-
WWE production value.
Okay.
I mean-
And then you've been conditioned for that, and I think a lot of people has, and I think that's why stuff like Ring of Honor suffers.
Yeah.
That's why I think TNA is got the production value. Again,
I watch them on mute when I watch them.
You're annoyed by the announcers.
I'm annoyed by 90% of what they do.
Yeah.
But I'll watch the wrestling as
Yeah.
long as it's like AJ Styles or, some of the younger guys that shouldn't be. I mean, that.
But that's still reaching out to you because it is live and everything.
Right.
Or not live, but it's got
Higher
the
production
value.
I mean, you of all
Yeah.
people know that if I'm free,
Mhm.
I jump at the chance to go to a live wrestling show, whether it be indie or not indie.
Yeah. Just because it's an experience.
Right. I mean, I'll jump and I'll go to the show.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, is this kind of go back to your I don't care about the behind the scenes stuff. I just want to watch wrestling.
I don't
There you go.
care
There you go.
about.
I think that's fine. A lot of people don't give a crap about what's going on with the iPhone and everything. We go into it because we're really interested in the behind the scenes stuff. Nobody cares how the computer works. That's why they go to you as an IT person. Nobody cares how the wrestling works. That's why they pay money to go see the wrestlers at Mellon Arena or Console Energy Center or down at Court Time Sports Center for the indie show.
Right, and I have no problem doing that.
Yeah, and there's no problem with that.
I don't need to know what's going on behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know contract issues. I don't need to know personal feuds in the locker room. I don't care.
Have you watched NXT at all?
I watched like half an episode.
What do you think? Is it the same thing there? Like the whole competition thing kind of turns you off?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my take on it.
And it is weird. It is weird that they kind of have these like two levels of a reality show and then a fake reality show, which I don't know,
Right.
depending on your opinion. Reality shows, they're probably interchangeable.
Right.
So,
The thing is about NXT, and I think they kind of make this distinction. Like, they say these people are basically under contract because they show them down at FCW.
Yeah.
They've shown footage of them at FCW.
It's more like a showcase / dark match that they put on TV or the internet for FCW guys. You know,
it's kind of a Crash TV version of trying to find a new star.
Or it's a crash course in getting your ass on TV for FCW guys. You know, it's like they're taking it's like a graduate program for FCW people. It feels like at this point, and I think that's great for that. You know, for those more interested than maybe Chachi is or something. I was like, oh, let's see. Who's going to come up from there, we watched NXT. We saw Wade Barrett come up from there. We saw, Bryan Daniels come up from there, in a fashion. Who else?
We saw The Miz from Tough Enough.
We saw the Miz
and John Morrison, two guys in the main event.
That's true too. But not everybody's going to be, everybody's going to care about who's up and coming. They're going to care about who's hot now and who's entertaining them.
Right.
And right now, the people entertaining them are John Cena and The Miz and until recently Edge and, guys like that. And Undertaker, Triple H. And
Bobby, I will say it to his mask.
What's that?
He said, you say you don't like indie wrestling, the man-child's face, or mask. Listen, I don't care. I guess my summary is I don't care how they got there. I just want them to get in the ring. Sure, I have no problem with them dropping a promo because that's part of the show.
Yeah.
I want
that's
them
wrestling.
Yeah,
Talking's wrestling.
Ultimately, I want them to get in the ring. I want them to hurt each other professionally. I mean, fake hurt each other.
It's kind of to the point. I think a lot of people were hypocritical on this because Jim Cornette sat there and said, somebody asked him a question about WWE dropping its name and everything. And he's like, I don't remember the last time I went down to the arena to see a sports entertainment match. So, but then he goes in there for his match and it's all ridiculous entertainment.
Right.
It's not wrestling, and, he's a big guy for wrestling because he works with Ring of Honor, helps with that show and everything, and pushes that.
Right.
But then he's going in there and being ridiculous, puts his jacket on backwards, makes it like he's going to fight the Rock and Roll Express, and that's entertainment. He's not a wrestler. He's a fantastic manager. Right. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Jim Cornette, but it depends on the way you're looking at it. So.
Right. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love sitting here and talking wrestling with you guys. Yeah. And I will continue to do so.
To the point where which elbow drop was better.
Exactly.
Which there was even a responses on Twitter on this stuff.
By the way, underrated elbow drop. Test
had a good elbow drop.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll give you that. I mean, I'm intelligent enough.
I ran across a picture the other day of Test wandering around in Paris with Bret Hart and Eugene in the background. That was weird to see.
Sorry, Chachi. Let Chachi finish.
Sorry, Josh. You didn't mean to derail.
No, it's okay. It's just one of those things where, and no offense to WrestleFan, because I appreciate him paying attention to all these indie feds.
Yeah.
And I just don't care.
He's another one of those guys that just loves wrestling and loves seeing something different. And I think that's why there is this push for Ring of Honor in indies and the IWantWrestling.com campaign and everything. It's people want to this is an alternative, I'm trying to think of you're sick of the radio music, you're sick of Lady Gaga, so you go to the indies, you go check out some underground punk, you know, it's the same concept.
I know.
So yeah,
and like I said, I'll watch it if I'm live.
Yeah. If you're alive,
no, if I'm there,
I got you.
If I'm there in person, I'll watch it. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's just you can't give me a crappily. You can't give me a terribly edited
Poorly.
DVD. Poorly, thank you.
Yes.
You can't give me a poorly edited DVD and say, "Here, watch this." It's indie.
That is true. That is true. That's
Yeah.
why
And I
I'm a
realize-
big proponent for product value for you indies out there. I get tired when the promoter says, "Let's just put up one cam and not worry about it." No, you're losing half of the story.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's a story.
It
You
doesn't
need a
fucking
guy out
work like
there.
that.
You need a guy out there getting the face, the reactions. You know,
Right.
I mean, that's what people are used to. Yeah, people are like,
It's like what we used to always scream on this show. Sell it in the face.
yeah, say sell it in the
Sell it in
face.
the face.
If
Sell
I
it in
can't
the
see the
face.
face if I'm halfway across the gymnasium with a camera.
And you know what? I learned, and I feel like we're getting off the original subject with me going on this
That's
rant.
fine. That's
But,
fine. No, this is interesting. This is
but,
an interesting rat hole here.
Besides, no one cares about our truth anyway.
Yeah.
But and I'm saying this from experience
Mhm.
because I do own IWC DVDs.
Yes.
I bought them myself.
Mhm.
I paid for them.
Mm-hmm.
I regretted paying for them
Okay.
because they were cage matches
Yeah.
from like 20 feet away.
There's like one camera from
Yeah.
20 feet away.
Yeah, and you can barely see what's going on.
What'd you pick up, by the way?
I don't even remember what it is.
Was it
It's-
a best of or
I would have
something?
hated
Old stuff?
lockdown.
Yeah, it's sitting on my shelf.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotcha. You would have hated lockdown then.
I'm sure I would have.
No, because lockdown, like, I don't know what it is about TNA's cage.
Mm-hmm.
They, like, whenever the camera wasn't inside the ring,
Mm-hmm.
it just looked awful. Because they had so many matches with up to 8 or 10 guys in the match, you couldn't tell what the fuck was going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was absolutely awful to watch. Like, they had the escape match, which apparently you have to tag in for that match to occur.
I mean,
Like,
honestly,
It was 10 guys. 8 of them are on the outside of the ring, but on the apron inside the cage, and they had to be tagged in while there's 2 guys in the middle. Like, it was
They
just...
tried to do their old like X Division elimination matches, but in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't work.
I mean, what originally got me into TNA, it was, I went with Sorg over to Lunchbox's apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched the TNA pay-per-view.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was back when they only did pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the 6-sided ring. That was interesting to me.
It's different.
Yeah, it was
I think
different.
they lost a lot when they lost that ring.
And I paid more attention to what was going on in and around that ring than I did the wrestling, or the wrestlers. Or not the wrestlers, the announcers.
Yeah.
Like, I could have given a shit less what anyone was saying while I was watching that. But at that time, the production value was decent. I mean, they covered that ring well, and you could see everything.
Mm.
So, I mean, it all comes down to what you give me. If you shit in a DVD case and hand it to me and tell me to watch this,
I've seen some rough stuff.
Yeah.
then
The XPW is hard to watch. The Omega
Oh,
stuff's
that's really
hard to
hard to
watch. Or,
Right.
wait, is it XPW? Yeah, XPW. I've seen a few indies that are kind of hard to watch. I won't say them.
I don't want to break any ties.
I voiced some concern in the past.
But I mean,
but then again, a lot of times I grab older DVDs, which they have obviously improved, and they have to.
right.
It's like don't sell me a $20 DVD and then the camera works so bad.
Yeah.
I really yeah. It's
I mean,
Because, I mean, it's not like you're asking for WWE quality.
No.
Because
No.
obviously no one is going to be able
Right.
to give you that except for WWE.
I
But, like-
understand. I understand you could be in a gymnasium or a bingo hall. That's why I think Ring of Honor does really good, but they cover that up. You see,
I don't care where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
Old
give a
school ECW did great
right,
Mhm.
and
covering up all the flaws.
and you could watch it because it was watchable. It
Yeah.
wasn't a steaming pile of crap.
Yeah, it's like Ring of Honor. Like, I understand. I never got a chance to see it, but I understand when the Ring of Honor went to Core Time, where we go every month. They put a big sheet up around everything. Like,
Well,
big
I
black
haven't
sheet
been
around.
able to pick up. I haven't picked up any ROH DVDs, so I don't know what
ROH,
they look
ROH
like.
TVs are pretty good.
They're usually pretty good,
I
yeah.
think they're the main reason for that is because what Sorg said. You can't have just one camera at an indie show
Right,
and just set
yeah.
it there.
I mean,
You
and
you can't just have a hard cam. You have to have cams at ringside. And you need
Coverage.
to do editing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what I was going to say is, but I have seen their show. I watched it with Sorg here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was watchable.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I stopped paying attention.
No, granted, their show was produced. I've been there. They have a giant HDNet truck there for 2 days.
Exactly.
So they have a professional crew.
Right.
Now, if you watch
it's an indie fed.
But if you watch their self-produced DVDs,
Mm.
they are obviously a lower quality. But they're not bad.
But they don't have they have a hard cam and they have other cams that they edit, and they edit their their product where there's cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right. But I mean, don't record your product with a Sony 8mm camera.
yeah.
And then charge me $20 to $25 for the DVD.
Exactly.
Or else I'm gonna shit all over your product.
Exactly. And there's
That's why I've never picked up an IWC DVD of an event where I was since I bought the first one.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad the little inside baseball. I think the products become a lot better on tape. As far as what they've been putting out there,
right.
As long as there's the full setup. You go and you put one camera up in the corner, it's not going to work.
No, never.
Although I watched this past Clearfield Combat or Combat in Clearfield, whatever it is for IWC, and it with one camera was more entertaining than the other Fed I had attended earlier in the month. So and I'll let you guys parse that out. But great talk here. We do have to wrap it up. The ladies are about run out, falling from the trees. It's getting late.
They ain't ladies.
So let's learn right now.
We should really throw out some nets for them.
WrestleFan, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned 2 things in wrestling. Like 1.5. One thing I learned in wrestling was that from the King of Trios, from what I've heard from King of Trios, I have a newfound respect for Sean Waltman. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to chikarapro.com. If that's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is kind of an elaboration on what I learned last week. I learned that not only does Brie Bella have a man face, she has a man voice.
She totally does. That's a good call, WrestleFan. That is a good call.
I really will not be surprised when one night on Raw she just rips off her flesh suit and Harvey Wimpleman's under there.
What the hell?
Wow.
Wow.
I think there's a man under there.
Hey,
that's awesome.
Remember,
Wow.
she is the one with the better body. Okay, come on.
Oh man.
Their bodies are similar.
Chachi, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that WWE is unaware of what the Queen of England looks like.
A big fail in HD.
That was the worst segment ever.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
Yes, it was.
Give me the Santino Vladimir Tea Party any day.
Right. And given the opportunity, I would shoot Michael Cole.
Jeez.
What was the point of that?
Well, wait, where? In the head? In the kneecap?
You know what? I'm pretty sure I would shoot him in both knees just so I could watch him suffer.
Okay.
For making me suffer.
That's fair.
There you go.
Because I realize he's supposed to be a heel, and we're supposed to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
But he really needs to work on his mic skills.
There's a different kind, and he's good at mic skills, but he's not good at what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
there's
he is.
Heel.
Yeah,
there's a heel,
Chachi,
and oh my
you
god, I'm going to flip the channel.
Chachi, huh? You think you're being cute?
Exactly.
Cute?
That's my point.
Cute?
Yeah.
Cutie, cute. Look at you being all
Kiss it,
cute.
kiss it, JR.
Yeah. Kissity, kiss. Hey, kiss.
The thing that sucks is I really enjoyed the concept of that segment.
Yeah.
Because it was very, very, almost exactly the same as Jerry Lawler getting Bret Hart to kiss his feet, which is fantastic.
I think of it
but the execution was a little bit off.
Well, execution, yeah. My problems with it was like, why do we need to solidify that Michael Cole's the heel all the time? Like, we get it. You're the heel.
We try.
Well, WrestleFan, if they're going to be on the show every week, you have to do something. Like, you can't just have them sit and call commentary all night because they are still trying to build matches.
I get that. It's like, besides last week, every single Raw, Michael Cole has gotten the upper hand.
My problem is the storyline is polluting the other matches.
It is.
So,
Polluting the rest of the show.
The other thing I hate is that they did the thing last week where like, oh my god, Michael Cole slapjack Swagger, and now
No.
Cole, well, no, and then Cole slaves Swagger from the 619 on SmackDown, and Swagger's like, we're okay now. It's like, for me, I would have gone out there and if I was Swagger, I would have been like, no, we're not cool. You have a long way to go.
WrestleFan, Swagger can still just leave him in the lurch on the pay-per-view.
True. I hope that's what they do. But
right.
That is most likely what will happen.
All right, let's move on. DJ Lunchbox.
I think they abandoned it way too quickly. I would have rather Swagger came out and be like, yeah, you have a long way to go. He's like, but I saved you on SmackDown. He's like, yeah, but I didn't win.
Guys, DJ Lunchbox, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Wow, that's a hard question. I was really entertained. It was really entertained listening to you go back and forth. I didn't learn a lot, Sword. I didn't learn a lot. It wasn't like an informative.
Where are you going? Why
wrestling.
are you under your camera? There you go.
I'm sorry. I was leaned forward on the desk. I was very thoughtful, but the picture it wasn't picking up.
Come on, you can see me. Hello.
I can see you now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up, hot dog?
Huh.
I don't know. I am glad to have JR back. I learned I forgot how great JR was. And no, here's what I learned. I got it. Here's what I learned from wrestling. Hey, I can see myself.
For those wondering,
what I learned from wrestling is that I don't know if the time is right for WWE to branch out as much as it is, because
you're not digging the Ed Harris movie with the cameo by Randy Orton?
Not a big fan. Not a big fan of that.
With the cameo by Randy Orton.
Not a fan of that.
Hey, he'll go to the papers if he has to, guys.
Not watching NXT. I mean, Raw and SmackDown. That's pretty much it, and that's enough to keep me entertained. I mean, really, I'm really interested to see how much money they're making or not making off of all these other endeavors.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the other thing I learned in wrestling. I'm gonna take this to the papers. Is the new I don't know how.
Yeah, probably. It's unfortunate when you are a big enough of a WWE fan that you watch every episode, so you get every one of those commercials for the 2 months leading up to a movie release. From the chat room, Bobby F. J. Town learned that Albert of the River versus Christian is going to be the match of Extreme Rules, but they did fix the main event by removing R-Truth, and that's what's up. The more you know. He also learned
Albert of the River is
that bitches be falling from
the
trees.
Name in the world.
So I'm gonna make like a leaf and rake in some dough. Can we see the cowgirl to end the show? I'll pull the cowgirl.
Wow. Bobby F. J-Town's busting a little rhyme in the chat room.
There you go. For you, sir. For you. There you go. All right. Anyways, where are we?
Well, Sorgatron, what'd you learn this week?
Oh, what did I learn this week? I learned the Val Venus is into MMA, and it's very confusing to a town in Franklin, PA, in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. That's what I got. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your.
Hey, you didn't ask me what I learned.
Oh shit!
What did Chachi learn?
Jesus fucking Christ, man!
Hey, Mike, what'd you learn this week?
Well, I learned 3 things.
Okay, what the hell?
3 things.
We gotta end the show sometime.
They're quick.
Okay, man.
They're quick if no one interrupts me.
Quick. Oh, like you
All right,
should talk.
1. There's only one way to spell Michael, and Stone Cold Steve Austin helped me prove that. Because the Michael thing.
The fuck?
Fuck you. Fuck you. That's not how to spell Michael.
Fuck you, Miguel.
Yeah, exactly. Number two, that Brat style that Awesome Kong ripped up in her promo looked way too fucking much like Melina.
Is that why she ripped the legs off?
Yes, because she did Melina's split and she ripped the legs off.
Karma is supposed to be her name, by the way.
I like that name actually.
I think
what was it? Pro Wrestling.
I think they can call her whatever whatever they want to call her, as long as 1, she gets to keep the rights to Awesome Kong, and 2, they put her on my television set
in HD.
I don't think she ever had the rights to Awesome Kong. I think that's a TNA thing.
Amazing.
She's got the rights to
Amazing Kong. All right.
Semantics.
All right, and 3.
And 3, you do not fuck with skid marks. He will fuck you up in a promo.
That's right.
I was like,
I was
yeah,
kind of
go
impressed.
Fuck you up in a
promo.
That
Sure, it's only
promo.
choosing you for my
That
fantasy
promo
team,
was
but
fucking
yeah, go
amazing.
skid marks.
That made him. That made him right there.
Seriously,
That's fantastic.
that put him like from my I want to see this guy off the show to I think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll win.
That could be. It could be. If he gets all the rest
No,
of the
dude, WrestleFan,
I
that was
forgot
a
who
damn fine promo.
It was it was a good promo. I forgot who tweeted last night. The quote from Mick Ale. I have nothing to go home to. ... except my wife.
That was me.
That was
that was
me.
messed up. That's the worst. I had nothing to go home to except my wife.
Except my wife.
That's-
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh.
Fuck you. You for
Let's see
spelling
how
my
long-
goddamn name wrong.
Let's
Your wife's
see, let's
gonna
see
leave
how
you at the
long
door,
that
Miss
marriage
Ale.
goes. All right, guys, this has been your Mayhem Show. Again, check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, on Twitter at Mayhem Show. Hit us up, of course, at
Good times.
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com and 412-206-W.
206 WMS0. Call us when you're drunk.
Yes, sir. Again, check out the iPhone app. Stay tuned to SorgatronMedia.com. We have plenty of stuff from our time at the Pittsburgh Comic Con this weekend. We have like 14 interviews I have to edit. OMG! Also check out our friends at thebaristas.com. Just finished up their recent season. So go ahead and rip through 11 episodes of awesomeness right there. I don't know why he's dancing. You're so
Because I'm
confused if you're
dancing because
on
I'm dodging
video.
the bitches falling
So,
from the trees, sword.
Okay, sure. And
Falling from
that's
trees.
it for Chachi on the couch, Mad Mike, the Wrestle Fan, and the DJ Lunchbox, and all of you Mayhem Nation in the chat room, and checking us out live and recorded and whatever. We'll see you guys next week, and I give you the cowgirl for Bobby F. King.